Imagine it's the winter of 1777. The American Revolution is in full swing, but things aren't looking good. General George Washington and his Continental Army have just suffered tough defeats at Brandywine and Germantown. The British have captured the capital. Philadelphia morale is at an all-time low, seeking a secure place to regroup and train for the winter. Washington leads his exhausted, frostbitten army to a place called Valley Forge. What happened next became a legend. Valley Forge wasn't a glorious battle, but a crucible of suffering and resilience that would ultimately forge the army that won American independence. But how do we truly know what it was like? We know because they wrote it all down. The letters sent from that frozen encampment are some of the most powerful and human documents in American history. They open a window directly into the heart of the Revolution. Let's start with the man himself, George Washington. He was a prolific letter writer, and his dispatches from Valley Forge are a masterclass in leadership under pressure. He wrote constantly to the Continental Congress, practically begging for supplies. In a letter from December 23rd, just days after arriving, he describes the grim reality. We have no less than 2,898 men now in camp unfit for duty because they are barefoot and otherwise naked. He wasn't just stating facts. He was trying to make them feel the cold, to see the bloody footprints in the snow that he saw every day. He warned Congress that without immediate support, the army would either starve, dissolve, or disperse. You can feel the desperation, the weight of a nation's future on his shoulders, but you also feel his unshakable resolve. He never gave up. He managed the camp, planned for the spring campaign, and dealt with political backstabbing, all while his army was freezing. His letters show us a commander who was not a distant marble statue, but a deeply concerned leader sharing his soldiers' suffering. But it wasn't just generals writing letters. The ordinary soldiers, the ones who truly endured the hardship, also wrote home. Their letters are heartbreaking and deeply personal. They talk about the continual slow starvation, as one doctor, Albagence Waldo, wrote in his diary. He described his fellow soldiers: poor food, hard lodging, cold weather, fatigue, nasty clothes, nasty cookery. He even gets a little poetic, writing, "I am sick, discontented, and out of humor. Poor food, hard lodging. Why are we sent here to starve and freeze?" These weren't complaints from cowards. These were cries from men pushed to the absolute limit. Private Joseph Plum Martin, a young soldier who wrote a famous memoir years later based on his experiences, recalled the desperate attempts to get food. He describes a moment of dark humor when the soldiers would chant, "No meat, no meat." He also wrote about the moment they finally got some bread after days of nothing, calling it the sweetest morsel he'd ever tasted. These accounts paint a vivid picture of daily life: the gnawing hunger, the bone-chilling cold, and the simple, profound joy of a piece of bread. These letters also show us incredible spirit. Soldiers wrote to their families not just of misery, but of their unwavering belief in the glorious cause of liberty. They told their wives and parents not to worry, that they were committed to seeing it through. They found ways to keep their spirits up, building makeshift huts, sharing stories, and holding onto the hope of a better future. It's this spirit, this camaraderie forged in the face of unimaginable hardship, that truly defines the Valley Forge experience. The letters from Valley Forge aren't just historical artifacts, they are human stories. They remind us that history is made by real people with fears, hopes, and an incredible capacity to endure. They show us that the foundation of the United States was unjust built on grand ideas and battlefield victories, but on the quiet, stubborn courage of thousands of individuals who refused to give up in the darkest of winters. Their words travel across centuries to teach us a timeless lesson about resilience, leadership, and the true price of freedom. Thanks for watching. If you found this journey back in time interesting, please hit that like button and subscribe for more stories from history. See you next time.